Alright. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another Wednesday.
another one. Yeah, so we've done another one shot.
Yes.
Our annual Christmas one shot actually.
Yeah, so we have this one shot, of course, once a year.
Yeah.
Right before, usually before. I think there's been one after Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's
It's a Christmas one shot.
It's a Christmas one
Yeah,
shot, and
sorry.
it has to be about Christmas.
Yeah, it is usually Christmas themed in some way, either Santa Claus or his helpers, small elves,
elf or
things
something.
like that
Yeah.
are included. Yeah.
So I don't remember our first, cause that wasn't me, but
I remember the really first one, that was Marcus.
yeah.
And I just remember the ending being that the boss had a silver key
Yeah.
that was evil and corrupted people.
Okay.
And then could also grant wishes. And then my character got a hold of it at the end of the one shot, and I just used Call Meteor or something that just destroys everything in the area.
Alright.
So I just the whole castle that we had kind of conquered from this evil Santa corrupted by a silver key, just destroyed it all with us in it. Yeah,
Okay.
that was the
Like a
end to it.
suicide mission.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember why. I can't remember. I wasn't there.
That might be it.
Yeah. Then the two after,
Yeah.
I hosted, or I was the DM.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one you had to fight the Grinch.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. I don't remember the story around it, but I remember that everything led up to you fighting the Grinch.
Yeah.
And then the third, last Christmas.
Was that the one where we
Yeah.
had to,
You had to
go through some
defend-
trials or something?
No, that was just a regular one shot, I think.
Okay.
But it was, you had to defend Christmas against the Easter Bunny.
That's the one. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was around Christmas Day, and you and the Easter Bunny came to attack you with all his chickens,
Yes.
which
And they had upper AC.
upper AC.
Yes.
Uh,
That was a fun
so
mechanic.
everybody who had like maxed out their hitting abilities,
Yeah, the to hit
to hit,
bonus. Yeah.
were not useless,
No.
but they got attacked a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So it was
dealt
like
a lot of damage.
yeah, you put like a upper AC of 25 or something like that, so that if you rolled above the upper AC and below the normal AC, you would miss. So it got into this kind of interval where you
think
had between.
The chickens were 1 HP.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
And then
a fireballing wizard's wet dream.
yeah,
1 HP enemies.
perfect. But they had I think it was only 10s you could hit, so it was 10 to 19.
Ah, okay.
And then if you hit over 20 or 20 and over or below, of course, you wouldn't hit.
Yeah.
And the plus 25 was the Easter Bunny,
Ah, okay. Yeah.
who had from 18 to 25.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
could hit him there.
Yeah.
Because I think you had, in the group there were like 3 guys who could hit easily above.
Yeah.
Because you were like level 11 or
10 or 11,
Yeah.
and I remember having a character that had like plus 10 or plus 11 to hit because you also gave us magic items.
Yeah.
So we had like 10 or above to hit.
Yeah.
So it was actually a challenge to roll the correct numbers in between the upper and lower.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Then this year it was Silas
Yeah.
who hosted. And he himself is not fixated.
He likes history.
Yeah, he likes history.
He likes history.
He likes
yeah.
history. So, and he likes the Roman period a lot.
Yeah.
So he took the invasion of England. The Romans did.
Yeah.
I don't remember the year.
Just
around 0.
No, it was like
like
30 or 40 years after Christ.
It's around 0.
But it's around 0. It's like Jesus has been crucified within the last decade or two. So it's around that time period. But yeah, so it was themed that we were to play this special force of the Roman legion.
Roman General Plautius.
That was our general that commanded like the unit we were a part of.
Yeah.
And he told us to go find out there was
this pagan tradition, this Christian tradition called Christmas.
Yeah.
And we had to research it and find everything out we could about it. And then report back.
Yeah. Basically, I really like the idea that Christmas was established in England 40 or 50 years after Christ. That's it doesn't seem correct, but in this one shot that was it.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fair.
But yeah, it was like we have to celebrate something now in England.
Christmas.
I like the idea.
I like it.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got to this town to research.
It's kind of a fortress, right? It was quite big. I think it was like a typical English keep at the time, where you had outer walls and then you had quite a lot of space inside, with tents and small buildings, and I'll have to put it on mute. With tents and small buildings and like a place for like a bigger keep in the middle, I think, or a tower or some sort inside, but like it's quite traditional English, medieval, maybe even before.
But yeah, in the establishment, or what you can call whatever.
Yeah.
In the town, we had to. Was it like a druid or something? Yeah. We had to talk to this guy, the druid man.
Yeah.
And then my character weren't like on the best terms in like 10 seconds within the conversation.
Yeah. And my character was really an imperialist, so he didn't really converse with many of the English because he just he was there because he was told to be there.
Yeah.
But like he didn't engage much at the beginning of the story. But also at the beginning of the story, we were made aware quite quickly that the English really didn't like us Romans being there.
What?
Yeah, exactly. And we even had to like try and get costumes or disguises.
That was just an idea of mine.
Yeah, to get a disguise.
So
the druid didn't know we were Romans at first or something.
It was not that. We got in, got like a bad rep.
Yeah.
And then got mad at him. He got mad at us, and we were like, okay, we have to like report back with something.
Yeah.
And then we were okay. We're just gonna interview the public.
That was your idea.
Folk.
That was your idea.
Yeah, and then maybe we have to look like English people and not a Roman, not just some Roman dudes.
Yeah.
But yeah, for us it was quite easy. But for our third guy,
Hulk,
which was a big green orc.
Yeah.
A half orc.
Half orc. Yeah. who played a monk barbarian.
Monk
multi-class,
barbarian, yeah.
which was quite cool. Yeah,
Quite cool, yeah.
it was cool.
And then,
but he stood out in this English town filled
Yeah,
with only
so-
humans.
we kind of cut him off and like made him do like some lookout.
Yeah, yeah. So he went outside the city to like just
Yeah.
stand watch, I suppose. Yeah.
But yeah, then we asked around and almost everybody said something about the rice. What rice pudding? Rice,
Yeah.
Rice.
Yeah, rice pudding.
It's not
Cold?
pudding. Yeah, cold. What the fuck is that? In English.
Continue.
Bread.
Grid. Oh
bread?
yes, the rice grid.
Yes.
Just continue the story.
Yeah. And if you put out the thing,
Oh.
Mika says
Porridge.
porridge, yeah.
Yeah, so rice porridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a Danish tradition, making rice porridge
Yeah.
around Christmas.
Yeah. And then in England. Yeah.
In the one shot in England.
Yeah.
Um,
You had to make some rice
Porridge.
porridge, thank you. And put it outside
Yeah.
on Christmas night.
Yeah.
And then they will receive either a gift or coal.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
were like, well,
yeah. So you get what you wish for
Yeah.
in the bowl
If
the
you-
night after. If you've been good.
been good,
Uh,
and you haven't told anyone what your wish for.
Yeah, because if you tell people what your wish is, you get like banished or something.
Not banished, cursed.
Cursed. Yeah, that's fair. But like, yeah, so you weren't supposed to tell people, and if you were bad, you didn't get your wish, and you got coal instead.
Yeah.
And then Hawk, our barbarian monk, thought
And yes, Hulk was the name.
Hawk, what's the name?
Yes.
Yeah. His immediate thought was, what if I wish for coal? And then the rest of the session he kept asking different people, different NPCs in the one shot, what if I
wish for coal? And then
sorry,
every answer was like,
I don't
I've
know.
never thought about that.
Yeah, yeah. No one's ever thought about that. Yeah, but those
Yeah.
that was actually
It
quite
takes a special kind of idiot to think about
Think
the
about-
deep questions.
yeah. Takes a certain kind of low int score.
Certain type of intelligence.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got information from the villagers about what
Yes,
this whole
some-
Christmas thing was.
And we got a recipe for the
The porridge.
porridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we
The risotto
Bought-
with no mushrooms.
yeah. And then we bought everything and then got back to the camp.
Yeah.
And everybody in the Roman camp made the porridge,
Mhm.
and then overnight we had to watch everything.
Yeah.
We missed.
I'll just interrupt. We had a lot of fun pretending to be stereotypical Italians.
Yeah.
And then being like, this rice pudding doesn't have any mushrooms or onions in it, or garlic for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a lot of fun, and we just searched up the
So, yeah.
Italian theme on YouTube. I can't remember what it's actually called, but it shows up if you search for that. So we had a lot of fun also, just like for 5 minutes being like, there's no mushrooms in your risotto, it's
There's
bad.
no mushrooms in the
There's no
risotto.
umami.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, we got the watch for the night to like catch who is taking the porridge,
Yeah.
and then we missed like some kind of saving throw, and then
Yeah.
we went to sleep.
There was like a wisdom saving throw to
Wisdom, yeah.
decide whether or not we would fall asleep. because there was some magical effect making people sleep when the Christmas spirit showed up. So, and we all three of us failed, sadly. And then we woke up and had to look for tracks and try and find out where the intruders had come from, because all of the rice porridge had been taken from the Roman camp. We had like followed the tradition and tried to see what would happen, but everyone got coal, even Hulk, and he wished for coal, so he's been a good boy. And since we couldn't make much out of the tracks there, we went back to the druid in the English keep, and then and then we
okay, let me take
how do you
this.
say it?
We got in to like, let's start from scratch, and like, we can be friends.
Yeah.
And I had this whole thing thought out, and I gave the guys like some cues. Do this, don't do this. And then I had this, because he was a druid.
Yeah.
He had like this long white beard and all that, and I was like, maybe he's Santa. And I said my conspiracy theory out loud. And then I came in like, hey man, can we like start from scratch, or let's just maybe be friends. And then you just screamed, "You're the Santa Claus!" And I was like,
I just interrupt. You're Santa Claus! We won't let this happen. England will be the Roman territory. And we do not allow pagan traditions. It is against our religion.
Yeah.
So I played that quite well.
Very frustrating from my side.
Yeah, you had a whole plan.
I had a whole plan.
Yeah.
And now I don't remember it, but
No.
I was like, waste of brain power.
Yeah, waste of brain power. Yeah. But I played my character, supposedly.
Yeah.
It was a dumb extreme of playing your character, but it was still within what I would expect my character to do, since he is supposed to be an imperialist and religious and worshipping like the Roman pantheon. So it was against what he believed in. It was just a dumb extreme of role playing.
But we didn't really get far because we accused him of being the Christmas spirit and all that.
And he wasn't actually. He wasn't actually the Christmas spirit, which was quite.
Then we got back and somehow
on the way back we were ambushed by little Christmas elves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we killed them.
Yeah.
Viciously.
They had to die.
Yeah. And then we rushed back to the camp to report what we have seen and what we have fought against.
Yeah.
And then
the camp was
came
ruined.
into like this slaughterhouse of elves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the Romans just have slaughtered every elf who came in.
Yeah. And these
and
weren't like
our general players
Yeah.
were furious.
He was
And
furious.
He was like, it's the druid.
Yeah.
He had the same thought as me.
Yeah.
And then just rushed the whole freaking army to the base, and then kicked up the door to the druid and like, guys, I got this.
Yeah, we had like a battle between the Roman army and our army in front of like the English
Roman army and the English.
And the English, they weren't really an
army. We weren't
army.
fighting the Romans.
No, that's true. Yeah, sorry. So we were as mentioned, part of the Roman legion.
Yeah.
And we attacked the English keep, and we won quite easy. Actually, it wasn't that bad. I was able to show off my sorcerer flair, do some lightning spells.
And was it that easy? So this is like the second time Mikas fucks me in this.
First I fuck you in the roleplay, and then I'll do it in combat as well.
Mikas is like, I have to hit every enemy on the board, and
Yeah.
then hits me.
That of course
And-
includes my teammates.
Yeah,
I have to hit
me and
everyone
our-
on the board.
And Matthias.
Yeah.
And I'm a rogue who had under 40 health.
Oh. Yeah.
And then he hit me and I failed the saving throw.
Yeah, it was a strength save as well,
Strength
so
save,
it wasn't
yeah.
good for you, and you took like 10 damage.
10 damage.
Yeah.
And then after you, it was all the enemies. And then
3 of them
no.
went to attack you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were 2 against 6
That's
in the front line.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
So it was 3-3.
Yeah.
And then they all hit me for around 30. I had like 1 or 2 HP left.
Yeah.
And I was like furious because
You sat there like, oh, I'm about to die. What if I had 10 more HP?
imagine if I had more
Imagine if someone didn't deal 10 points of damage to me who wasn't supposed to. Yeah. So I managed to fuck you over in combat as well.
Yeah.
The rest of combat I was mindful to not hit you.
Yeah,
I
thank
actually like I had a decision, like I had a thought that I was gonna be like, okay, he's a rogue, he's level 7, I can probably just throw a lightning bolt through him and the enemies because you have evasion.
Yeah.
So you have evasion, and if you fail the save,
It's have.
it has,
Yeah.
and if you succeed it's 0, and it's a dex save, so you should be
Yeah.
good at those. So I had the thought,
Yeah.
I was like, he does have evasion, I could just fire through him
But then you
and
used
the
your
light.
brain and then
And then I was
angle
like-
and then you could hit
I was like-
every enemy.
Now I can hit 3 at once.
Yeah, but
Yeah, there were like
3 instead of 2.
no. If I had hit through you, I would have hit 4 instead of 3, and I was like,
4?
yeah, the angle was there for me to hit 4 if I chose to hit
I'm
through
not
you.
gonna argue
But
with them.
yeah, but I was like, no, he's gonna be so mad. You're gonna be so mad if I also hit you with a lightning bolt. So
I mean,
I was like, no.
especially because I had this little kind of special build for a rogue.
Yeah.
I went rogue healer,
Mhm.
which was for me just a funny thing to do for like a one shot.
Yeah.
It's not like I wanted to do it for a campaign.
It was a cool build though.
Yeah.
Because you had the healer feat,
Mm-hmm.
and since you have cunning action and you're proficient with the healer's kit, you could use the healer's kit on yourself and others as a bonus action,
Mhm.
allowing you to heal mid-combat more without wasting
And I
your
got
own action.
and I
That's quite
were
cool.
allowed to have more healing potions than you guys.
I had 0. I had 0 healing potions, and you had like
We
4 or
got-
5.
We got delivered 2, so we got 2 from the general.
That might be.
But yeah.
that
I
might-
got 7 in the end.
Mm.
I started with 5, and then yeah.
Mm.
You
You also had a magic item, the drunkard thing.
yeah. So
I
I
don't
had
remember what
like
it's called.
it was just a necklace, like
Yeah.
some kind of healing totem I had
Yeah.
around my neck, which was just a greater healing potion.
Yeah, basically. It's
Yeah.
a once a day greater healing potion.
Yeah. So
So you had a lot of healing considering you were a rogue and weren't supposed
I had
to have.
cure wounds as well and spare the dying because I had the like the feet, the
Oh, it's because with the new rules, when you choose a background, you get magic initial. Isn't that it?
no.
No.
It was I got a feat.
Okay.
magic initiate cleric.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just a feat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
you played a human, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so you had 2 feet. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah, that's fine.
and so I were the healer, and then you kind of killed me because I only lived because our barbarian monk took one of my healing potions
and
then
put it
forced
into
it
mouth.
in my mouth.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he's down. We'll just finish up quickly, and then we can give him a healing potion afterwards. And Monk Barbarian Hulk was like, no, he has to get it now. He has to get the healing potion now, which was probably for the better. I played my sorcerer as quite the selfish person, selfish imperialist.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
They were like very bad like vibe for 10 minutes plus after that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was like, you just fucked me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You did me dirty. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
onwards with the
onwards.
story.
Yeah. We got to the druid.
Hmm?
Our general were like, I got this, guys.
Yeah.
Got in there, and we just hear like a lot of noise, a lot of shouting.
Yeah.
He comes out like, all right, I know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I know where Santa is now. Yeah.
And then we just look in, and there's like, the druid is in there. He's everywhere in there.
Yeah,
so
he's everywhere.
He's
He's been torn apart.
Torn apart, yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, of course we got the. I know where it is, but like, you guys do it.
Yeah. He didn't want to do it himself.
Yeah. So we went for this.
Like
it was
a
in the
mountain?
mountains. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we
And
trekked
then
to
we
a mountain.
trekked. Used the map or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, we were we were told some directions on a map, and then we just followed them until we got to like this hut where this guy served us food.
And that's where I got like a fairy fire potion.
Yeah, we could also buy potions.
And then I got. Oh, I didn't use that in the campaign.
Me neither.
I bought a. I don't really remember what it did, but he said it made me stronger, like constitution wise.
Yeah.
That was. I think that was what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing was that I wanted the fairy fire because I thought we were going to like a boss fight now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, the Fairy Fire potion is just basically the first level spell, Fairy Fire, which gives everyone advantage on those who are hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since you're a rogue, sneak attack advantage goes hand in hand. Yeah.
But yeah, we get to Santa's lair, and we got in. We slaughtered his guard posts. Gnomes.
Yeah.
What you can call elves. Yeah. And then we just walk in like, what is everybody doing here? It was.
And then he spun around in his
been-
chair like a Bond
been
villain.
waiting for
Yeah,
you.
like a James Bond villain. Like, I've been expecting you.
I've been expecting you.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Heroes.
Sansa knew we were coming.
Yeah.
And then we had a long discussion, both
Yeah.
in game, out of game, because Sansa actually wanted us to betray our general and kill him, and then he would grant us a wish.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we had out of game a discussion about what was it like to be a Roman back in the day, because we're not history
Roman
experts.
soldier.
Yeah, a Roman soldier, because they had a lot of non-Roman people.
Yeah.
By, they weren't born in Rome.
Yeah.
They were born maybe in France and
In
then
conquered territory.
conquered
Yeah.
territory, and then became Romans.
Yeah.
Because of they got conquered.
Yeah.
So they don't really have like the best relationship with Rome, but they are fighting for Rome.
Yeah, so we argued that some of the Roman soldiers would be mercenary, more just mercenary people who are just hired to be part of the army,
'Cause it was
but didn't have
paid
like
army,
so it was a paid army, so they were hired to be soldiers, but weren't necessarily like Roman nationalists. They
Yeah.
didn't have to believe in Rome
But yeah,
and Roman
it's
culture.
not like
and
we
religion.
know everything, but that was our narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah, so me and Matthias was like, okay, we want to betray him the most, but if we're not gonna do it as a group, we're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So
and
it was like up to you, the imperialist.
Yeah, your character was a hired mercenary. He didn't live in the Roman Empire and things like that. He just did it for money. And
To
Matthias,
not be poor.
to not be poor.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Matthias, his character, Hulk, his whole character arc was just that he wanted to be more chill and not have anger problems. Since he was a barbarian that used rage in combat. So he wanted to be like, I don't actually want to be
More
this guy.
monk-like.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a barbarian, which he was because he was a soldier. So not like the barbarian class, but like the barbarian mindset, I guess. The less cultural and like more one-sided character. He wanted to be more than that.
He wanted
So
to be
you
Bruce
had to-
Banner, not
be-
Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you guys had to convince the absolute imperialist that just worshipped the emperor, the Caesar, and loved the Roman religion and all of this. You had to convince this guy that betraying the Roman army
And
was
how
the
did
right.
we do that? Was it just like
You just argued for a long time, and I was like, I suppose. In the end, I don't think that's what the character really would have done, because I didn't make him as one who would betray the Empire, but I realized that out of game. Thank you. I realized that'll be good SMR. I realized out of game that you guys at the table probably wanted to betray the Roman Empire more, since you were for it, and I was like, okay, that's what we'll do, because it sounded kind of cool as an out of game perspective, so I just let's do that. Said we should do that instead of keep on arguing, and we went back and fought the General Claudius and defeated him barely.
I had a plan once more, and then this time I said, "You guys say nothing."
Yeah,
Because
I have a new plan.
I have a new plan.
Shut up.
Shut up. We got this. You want to do what I say, serum from the Santa.
Yeah. It's just a stronger charm person kind
I
of
guess,
approach.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got him and his bodyguard outside the camp.
Yeah.
In the forest. And then we just attacked him.
Okay.
Attacked him. Surprised him.
Yeah.
And then we fought him. Long battle.
It's quite a long battle, which
Yeah.
we barely were able to win because you kept healing Hulk, and I just sat at the back, quite kind of further away, and just shot spells at him and the bodyguard. And it took quite a while because he had +10 to almost all saving throws. So he just saved everything, which was so annoying when you're playing as spellcaster. And he had like a 20 AC or something. So he was quite strong actually.
Yeah.
It made sense because we were 3 against 2 and we are level 7 all 3 of us.
But
it was a hard battle
if
anyway.
it weren't for the fairy fire, we lost that battle.
Yeah, if it weren't for the Fire potion and the fact that you could keep healing Hulk, we would have definitely lost. Yeah. Because if you had no healing, he would have gone down much easier, and we would have lost that battle.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
but it didn't happen. We won.
Yeah, we managed to win.
Well, maybe we have to tell why we betrayed the Roman army.
Yeah.
Santa promised us everything we wanted. So
Yeah, he promised us a wish, right?
almost.
Okay.
So yeah, basically a wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we came back. We wished for whatever. I don't remember you guys. You wanted to be reborn as a Roman leader.
Yeah, I wanted to be reborn as the next Caesar, because my character was still an imperialist. So.
And then you became. We searched it up, and then you became the guy who built Colosseum.
Yeah. The next in line, according to like the real
you
world
were
time.
The next after the next, because the
Yeah.
next were already born. It was the Claudius.
Yeah, Claudius'
So
son
our
was
general
Caesar
was
Nero.
Claudius, and the Caesar was Claudius.
Yeah, I was confused.
And then
The next Caesar would have been Caesar Nero,
Nero,
and he was already alive by that time, so I was reborn as the next guy.
Yeah.
Which ended up being the Caesar who built the Colosseum.
Yeah. He was the victor of the Four Caesars year, where there were 4 Caesars.
Yeah.
4 emperors.
The
Of Rome.
emperors.
Yeah. And yeah, you were the succeeder of that.
Yeah.
And you built the Colosseum.
Yeah.
And some other big thing.
A lot of other things happened,
Yeah.
but
And you restored Rome.
Yeah. I don't actually remember.
Well, that was like what ChatGPT said.
ChatGPT said that.
But and I just wished for like a highland farm.
You just wished
Away
to
from
be wealthy.
Rome.
Yeah.
With all the supplies and tools for a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't remember what Matthias, his character, I don't remember what he wished for.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Something he
Something
wanted.
peaceful, I think.
Yeah. But he had like an enlightenment after, which were like, maybe I want to be mad.
Yeah, maybe it's okay that I have
A
anger
lot of
issues.
character building in like
Yeah,
2 days.
yeah. Maybe accepting that I do rage in combat is okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that was
That's
kind of
basically
it.
the one shot. Yeah.
And then we talked about maybe some character building, because we had like a conversation before starting.
Yeah, so before we started recording, we were in the middle of a conversation, talking about character building and how to make characters more fun. And that's where I said my kind of controversial piece, because when I make characters, most of us actually, make characters on D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Which is a fine website for making characters. It's just annoying with buying books and all that, but it's fine for making characters. Especially if you have the money, it's great. But in there you have the optional class and optional race features you can enable. And if you enable the optional race features, you can ignore the fact that most races have a predetermined +1 and +2 in 2 different stats.
Yeah.
So the dwarf would normally have like +2 constitution, +1 strength or something like that. But
I think I usually play human, but
they don't
I
have
think
any predetermined. Yeah, I remember.
They have like +1 to something you want to have.
Yeah, but then they also
but
get a feat.
I think either you have +1 or you have +2 to one stat. I don't.
For normal races,
Yeah.
most races have +2 and then +1.
I say usually human is like 90% of every character I build.
Yeah, you make mostly human characters, but that's because they get a feat at the beginning, right?
And I like feats. Oh, whoa.
They can
Pause.
be they can they can be fun if you have like a certain build in mind.
Yeah.
But the usual layout is for like an elf to have +2 dex, +1 wisdom or intelligence, depending on what kind of elf you're playing.
Yeah.
Because there are sub races of elf.
Of course, yeah.
But I enable like the optional feature that you can just change that, because most of the time when I'm making a character, I want to play a certain class, and then I'll just think, okay, what race do I want to play as well?
Yeah.
And then I'll just change the ability score improvements from the race to fit whatever class I pick. For example,
So you're kind of cheating. That's what you're telling me right now.
I don't think it's cheating. It's an optional feature.
Said every cheater ever.
No, no. It's an optional
I don't
feature.
think it's cheating. I'm just choosing not to do what everybody else is doing.
Bro, I've looked at your characters in Les's campaign, and you have optional class features enabled. So if that's what we're going by, then you're also cheating.
No.
What?
Tell me, he have not told us we aren't allowed to do that.
Exactly. No, that's the exact reason
But you just
that I do that for all my characters.
It's just an add-on for me. You just switch around. It's a different thing. You can point all you want.
Optional features are optional features. Either you use them and don't think they're cheating, or you don't use them because you think they are cheating, or because you don't like them. Personally, I think the optional features enable you to make more of the character that you have in mind. For example, in your one-shot campaign, I'm playing a dwarf cleric. And instead of having +2 strength and +2 con, I'll just change one of them to be +2 in wisdom, because I'm playing a cleric. Because that's what makes sense for that character, since he has that class. And I think that's the only thing I actually change. Also, the optional race features allows you to like change languages. So if you want to play like a orc, but you've grown up in a village of goblins or something that isn't orc at all.
Yeah. And then you chose goblins.
You can. Yeah, I know that's a dumb. I was thinking of Goliath. If you're an orc and you grow up with Goliath, for example, and you're adopted or something, you can use the optional race features to like change your starting languages to common and giant instead of common and orc, because if your character hadn't grown up with orc parents, they wouldn't have learned that language. But that's also like a customization of characters.
I can see that, but
can change
the racial pluses is because of the race. It's not because
kind of, but that just limits the kind of races you can play. Then I can only play half elf or tiefling if I want to play a optimal sorcerer or warlock. If I want to play a warlock or sorcerer that is optimized towards having bonuses in the stats that I use for that class, I can only play half elf or tiefling.
But elf is also, in my mind, the most magical being you can be. Which is okay. You can pick another like Genasi or something, but they are the most magical normal race to use.
Yeah.
So of course they are the best sorcerers.
No, that's half elves. Not elves. Yeah, but half elves.
Whatever. Yeah.
And yeah, I guess half elves would be kind of common, not the most, but still. But like, I think it's I don't think the racial bonus has to limit what class you play. Personally. Because that would mean that I couldn't, if I can't switch around the racial bonuses, then I would just, and I wanted to play a Goliath wizard, I'm just playing a suboptimal Goliath wizard. I'm just playing a Goliath wizard with +1 in Constitution and +2 in Strength when I want Intelligence. Personally, I don't think
that put you good roll in Intelligence.
Yeah, but we don't roll.
The better number.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that results in you having stats that you don't need.
Or then you can just pick. Well, have we told about Lass's numbers?
I don't think we have.
But
Lasse, a DM for the longer campaign, Onslaught of Monsters, which we've talked a lot about, has a
predetermined
array.
roles.
Yeah, he has his own arrays. Instead of using the standard arrays that are in the player's handbook, I think.
And
he made his own.
Just rolling it.
Yeah, instead of rolling.
He doesn't want us to have like this one guy who just has +4 in everything. Because you were lucky.
Yeah, because
and roll
you can
everything over 14.
Exactly, because you can roll high and then just get really good stats, and then someone else can roll low and then get no stats at all. So he uses a standard array, so you can choose which one you want, which stats you want to be given, which you don't want to. But yeah, I don't know. Personally, I just move around the bonuses because I think that just makes it so that I don't feel limited in creating characters. That's also because I am admittedly kind of a min-maxing player. It's not that I go for these crazy optimal builds and have to have the highest score in everything that I need to use, but like I think having bonuses and stats you don't use is still just, I don't know, it might lead to a more varied character, but I don't think that's what I'm going for at most times.
My point of view is that why an elf gets +2 in dexterity is because they are a race which is more dexterous than like a human.
Yeah, but like
and
I think
a dwarf is more
sturdy.
robust, sturdy,
Yeah.
and have like a greater base of strength than a normal human, and that's why they get +2.
Yeah, and
to
strength.
this.
Yeah,
And then, so it's because of the race. It's like if you compare other animals to each other,
yeah,
they have. You can talk about they got +1 in this stat and +2 in that compared to another race.
yeah,
So they are better at this because they are genetically
better at that.
better in that. And it's usually also only dexterity, constitution, and strength they have the pluses in, because that's the physical,
Yeah,
and that's because of the genetics of
yeah.
That's my stand. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, because
But-
like if I want to play an elf who's a wizard, right?
Yeah.
And this elf, you might say it's genetics, but it's also, I think it's a part of the character you're creating, that the life they lived. Because I think that if I'm creating a elf wizard, and this guy has been inside most of his life, reading books, studying rituals, casting spells, I don't think it makes sense for him to then have high dex. He would then
That's
instead
where
have
I
high
come in
dex.
and say don't have to have a high dex, but then he has a better dexterity if.
Then he would have had.
If it was a human who did the same thing.
Yes. Okay.
That's why a human is the only character who gets to choose.
Yeah, because
they
have
want
more,
their pluses.
They have more variability. Yeah. And then there's also there are 2 human races you can play. There's the variant which give you a feat, and then there's the other one that gives you +1 to all stats.
Yeah, but the variant is broken as well because you still get +1 to 2
different stats.
Yeah, to 2 stats. So you get the pluses and you get an extra feat. And so that's me as a lover of feat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always choose the variant.
Yeah. I have, however, found a kind of a fun build. I've thought of a fun build in when using Lass's arrays.
Like all 13s.
Exactly. Because one of Lass's arrays, he has 5 different, and one of them is just 13 in all stats. And then if you play one of the human sub-races, you just get +1 in everything, and then you have 14 in everything.
Yeah.
And then if you play a bard, and you get you have the Jack of all trades feature, meaning that you get half proficiency in all skills.
Yeah.
As soon as I think when you get a proficiency bonus, that's 4, so that's like level 9. As soon as you're level 9, you can also take ability score improvements to increase your dex or charisma because you're a bard and you need those. But as soon as you're level 9, your proficiency bonus is +2, and you have at least +2 in all stats. That just makes it so that in all skills that you don't have proficiency, you have at least +4.
You will be the Jack of all trades.
You will be the Jack of all trades. It makes you quite useless in combat at lower levels, because to actually scale to be useful in combat, you have to use all your ability score improvements towards charisma or dex, depending on what kind of bard you're playing.
Yeah.
So that's
maybe
the
you can have
downside.
2 hit abilities. More because that's a rule.
Yeah. And that's kind of the downside, because your saves on spells will be bad until you get more ability score improvements.
Yeah.
But at level 9, if you use both for charisma, you will have 14 in most stats, and then you can have 18 in charisma, which isn't bad. It's actually quite good. And then you'll have proficiency and expertise in probably some of your skills. So you'll have somewhere between, I don't know, if you have expertise in persuasion and 18 in charisma, you'll have plus 12 to persuasion, and then you can also just go outside and then just have +4 to athletics as well. So it's kind of it's a dumb build that doesn't work really well at low levels, but at high levels it gets absolutely stupid, because you have so much plus. Because when you get to the +6 proficiency bonus, which you get at level 18, 17, at the very end game, which most games don't get to, you'll have +5 to all the other stats, and it just makes you the most broken retired adventurer NPC you can have in a game. It's just this old bard who can do everything. That's kind of a stupid build I've thought of, because of the way Lasse has made his arrays. I haven't told him about it because I've been thinking about just if my current character Kara dies, just rocking up with a bard that does everything. But as long as you're playing Aki, I thought that would be bad vibes. so
you can do a switcher.
Yeah. Oh, and then you'll come back with a fighter.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
But
no, but that's a dumb build.
Yeah.
But to end the kind of discussion about a race and pluses. I think like there are benefits to both ideas.
Yeah.
It's not that I think that you're wrong in never changing them. It would just, my DM told me that I couldn't use the optional race features and move that around. That would just mean that I would only pick races that made sense for my class. That's
Yeah.
at least how I
That's
make my
how-
characters.
That's the power player within you.
That is the power gamer that wants the most pluses to my hits. That just limits me to that, and I might try something else at some point. But since I have the option to like change that, I can play around with it a
But
bit
that's
more.
also why you don't really see a dwarf wizard.
Yeah, it would be fun though.
Yeah.
Might try it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Is that about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we can
That's
end on that.
End on that. Yeah, that we disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, exactly. Let's think
And
that's
shut
okay.
this off.
And shut off the